High positioning line channels, rotation conditions, and interference location. I woke up this morning and I had 10.1. Unbelievable on my TikTok. It's fantastic. It's amazing how we go into communication cycles. I noticed that there's a little bit more strength on rotation, especially when you go into higher levels of digital framing. I'm on 2 digital frame conditions, right? Into the line interference. So it's understanding I'm getting more questions. Like you wouldn't believe. It's amazing how I track the system locations all through TikTok. And people are saying, what's going on with this? What's going on with this? It's all about the ringing ears. It's all about the earth. What's happening with you? What's happening with everything that's happening all over position. So other understanding is you in levels of interference, of you inside connection. That's what it is. That's all it is, right? So basically, I'm just setting up new program settings. You have to understand that the reason why I didn't go live yesterday is because there's another computer operation line center. Okay, I'm in a 650 trillion line rotation positions, but I had to set up 650 computer rotations of universal line centers. Very powerful commitment to the line interference. So programs in its rotation to its conditions. So today I want to get it more into volumes of you guys come into spectrum lights, rotation cycles, interference channeling, clocking, rotation and interference location, backtracking line centers, computer operation line interference location. You guys have to understand when you're in traveling in space anomaly, you have to learn how to do these things through defaults, how you come into deprogramming, how you're surfacing to higher levels of computer line interference location of channels. It operates all circle rotation to its conditions. Now, as you know, my computer is all computer now, right? It's all about understanding positions, how it comes into calculation, modification, line center. So we're going to go through high levels of rotations of cluster interference, program line channeling. So it's kind of like being in a simulation, okay? And instead of using the program to get out of situations, we're going to shut down all operation. We're going to shut down all operation. And you guys have to find a way to get out of weather interference, program setting, galaxy lock interference, dimensional lock line channels in communication program setting. It's all done through your hands. I want you guys to get into space and know how to use your hands, how to do reflectors, how to put things in back in positions, how to move things out of calculations, how to understand how to move connections of meteors, how to understand trapping door interference, how to understand code line signals, how to get into reprogramming position locations. Okay, it's not all just butterflies and rainbows and cherries, guys. It's true to understand when you're in space. I had to go through so many sonic ways of interference, channel location, the dimensional door lock centers in calculation, modification, line rotation. So we're going to go into the mind over matter conceptual time frame. Okay, I really want you guys to understand how to remember how we centered position. I dropped you guys off at a planet and you had to get out of it through its maze. Well, this is all about understanding when your operation is shut down, how to get out of situations. This is all about understanding how you can be deprogrammed on default location or anything through its interference channeling. You have to truly understand how to use these two calculations, all right? So we're coming into the defaults. Okay, so I'll set up to high level rotation conditions. All right, defaults. Okay, defaulting / line equals box. Okay. All right, so that's the position that we come to. All right, equals oscillation. Okay, to its conditions. All right, so we go into the high force channel. Okay, it's interesting how we do these thing calculations because I go through this all the time. So it's like you're traveling too fast. And what happens? Basically, your ecosystem flirtates on highline rotation conditions, or it goes off channel. The beacon lights come in, the rotation conditions, or your pixel activation is not in the back for rotation back and balance line center. It's like coming into your breathing, and then you can't breathe. So you have to reset, reconnect in all position line condition, right? So defaults, okay, we're coming into the high rotation line conditions. All right, so we go into levels of equal line, okay, positions of box equals oscillation interference, high force line channels, okay, into program, okay, off cycle equals off cycle to line rotation conditions. All right, so this is the formula, okay, so All your programs are going to be shut down on rotation positions. You got to find a way to get back in line through communications. You guys are in a high line channel now. You guys are into your 80s, you're into 114s, and you're in your hundreds. So you have to learn how to use your default mechanisms, understand your cookies, understand your application line centers, recumulation bin. Take this out, take that out, put this in, put that out, put this in, do this, do that. So you have to learn how to use all this through all levels of default. How to change your story frames, how to change your multiple levels condition interference channel. So I want you guys to get into your hand information line centers, how to move these things, how to move this, look at this, things are coming at you in like a 3D motion. To understand, you come into space line center. So everybody's going to be in a high rotation communications. Interference suits high rise. Okay, so I'm going to put you guys all in the center line center of rotation to the same calculation modification line position. You have to learn how to get out of the channel rotation of its dimension. Locking in interference to its program setting. All right, so we got low channel interference. We got high positions interference, program line center to connections. Security line fence is coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 rotation line centers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there's 2 circle rotation line centers in communication. Looks like this through trap rotation line center. Okay, now as you can see, it's a UFO position. All right, go in the UFO line center in position. Teleport all levels of the galactic forces, GFLs, and everything through rotation centers of the rebellion. Put them in activation core line center. Center operated to position location. There's high line channel. All right, it keeps turning. All right. So it's already operating through line position locations. All right. I want to see if you can guys get back online. That's the whole point I'm trying to get across here. How to get back online, how to use your informations and really understand space, how to reprogram your system. You guys have to understand these things, right? It's not just understanding this and understanding that. It's understanding digital frames, correlation panels, your communication cycles, your tracker systems, your overloading conditions, all positions of you through track system. Because there are things that could be on defaults. There could be problems in space if you're traveling too fast, or you get a miracle aligned standing position location off cycle. It's all positions when you're traveling through higher levels of planets. You're getting so many reactions to the physical line conditions, all right? So it's activated to its core, okay? It's on its countdown, right? It's in position to its calculations, all right? So 25 minutes, have fun. All right, so you guys have to understand how to use this. And it's all done through the mind of thought. It's like you going onto the planet rotation and trying to stand everything through its hologram. Okay, it's put in its sequence to its mainframe. But this time, your programs are offset now. You're off the walls, you're off calculation, you're in default mechanism time travel. You have to learn how to get back into form, back into communication, out of cycle rotation line interference, get out of the psychosis, get out of the psychological line of its line channels and communication back into force of your recognition of your chakra system, back into balance of the grounds of power and the atmospheres of direction of time. Okay, so, right, it's great to do these things through travel, but you have to understand there could be faulty mechanisms of time travel. So there could be viruses, there could be Trojans in your computer operated system. Optical levels, primal levels, security defense, position line interference. You have to truly understand how to use this every single time. Okay, it's not just about traveling and saying, hey, this is great, this is fantastic, because there are going to be problems in space. You have to find a way to fix your positions and disposition, especially if you're traveling faster, right? So you check these things off before you travel into space, right? I did a very powerful video when there was this horse galloping, right? It's leaving the quantum fields. Well, you have to truly understand what you're doing through space anomaly, right? You have to check these things off before you go into higher levels of space position, especially if you're going to a planet. Oxygen levels, tank is full, sea levels are good, dimensional locks in center, everything coloration is good, everything is a point center is really good. You know, it's what is good and what needs to be worked on, right? And it comes in more into space because you guys are coming more into living in space. And you really have to learn how to use this to your level, to your avatars, your computers, or anything that connections. So All right. So it's getting like loss in transition, loss in activation, loss in motivation, loss in transition, loss in your tracker system. You have to learn how to get back on every level and know how to fix yourself in position and try to use the mind over matter to perception through shapes. Anything that you see, you can move across, right? Because when I was living in space, I was seeing meteors and I had to push it. I said, what am I doing here? I'm getting a reaction to my physical line and I'm seeing this meteorical through a high line standpoint. And I'm also seeing the archetypes going around and circle line interference and it's coming at me and it's my face is getting hot and I realized I got to use my hands, but it's all done in the mind. So it's the avatar. It's the conception of its imagination, the imagination to its image and what you're doing. So if a meteor is coming at you, you have to really understand, try to focus. You don't have to do it in the physical realm because this is you through calculation. You just have to learn how to use the mind of thought, direction, and time of where you are in space and what you need to do to reflect it. It's like reflectors. You're reflecting it off and it's going this way. So it's coming this way and you're going to go like that and you're going to move it across. So you're going to put your E fields. So you guys have to truly understand when you're traveling into real space of time. Okay. Because there are things that are going to be coming at you. Intelligence, form line centers, anything through AI, anything through UFO. It's going to, you have to identify yourself, right? But it's also too, you can get into these faulty mechanisms. Okay. So it's all about you understanding how to get back online, right? Especially if you go rogue. If you go rogue, you're off center. You got to get back on calculations. So this is all about you understanding how to use the mind conception of its thoughts so you can get into higher programs of balance back in position to its location. All right. I saw a general in sleep mode last night. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Commander will be here. Don't worry. All right. So I will be going live on TikTok after. Christopher, how are you doing? Superstar teams. Been this Saturday, yeah. Mm-hmm. Janet, how's it going? Lieutenant, how's it going? All right. Morning. Well, right on, yeah. So you become more powerful when you guys can readjust, rejoin, reconnect, reevaluate. Use your analytical graph. Use your illustration graph line center. Use your AI position, right? You can't do it in the physical realm. You have to think like AI, become AI, know AI. You are AI. That's the connections I want you guys to get into, right? It's your developments, especially if you're going into a simulator, right? And everything just goes off signal and you're about to crash. Well, you have to learn how to get back on so you can land safely, right? It's the same thing, right? Because there could be problems with your units, vector core, anything interference. Rotation cycles to its line interference location. You have to fix your heart reactor to its position locations, right? Just knowing what's happening with you when you're traveling, okay? What doesn't feel right? What is off? How can I center this? How can I center that? What is wrong? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? It's all positioned in you, right? So it's kind of like your thoughts too, and what you're doing with your thinkings and knowings and doings. So. All right. Ellen, how's it going? Christopher, Samantha. Mm-hmm. I'll be able to travel so long. Nice as a school festival. Oh, cool. Yeah, no, Christmas is coming up, eh? All right. Team such incredible, strong women. Yes, they are very strong. Women power. Also men power. It's coming into Balance Equalize Center. Let's see, Tina, where's Commander? Should be here soon. I set up system through hand formation. Now I'm seeing square coming towards me. There you go. So things are coming at you, right? And you have to learn how to deflect it. What is it? Try to understand this program interference. If not, I'll take over your program. Anything that happens, don't worry. I'll put you back online. I just want you to know what can happen if you go off position locations and you understand your compute levels or anything through your. It gets complicated if you don't understand your travels of time and space and where you are. Like, where's your clocking system? Where are you in space? If you don't know where you are in space, what are you doing? You know, hey, I'm in space. What's going on? You know, you can't float in space. You have to travel. And there's always a destination that you have to reach, right? But some things you have to check first. You know, like if you're going on a camping trip, you're checking this. Oh, I got this. Oh, canteen. Oh, bag. Oh, you know, you're checking things off before you get in the car and go to the campsite. Oh, I forgot blankets. Ah, now what? What are you going to do? Go back? Right? So you're making sure you have everything in operation. Okay. Now I'm seeing square coming towards me, stopping it with my hand, cube. I'm seeing my system like a dashboard. I need to address every gauging clock. Very good, Lieutenant. That's exactly what it is. Checking your systems, your gauge, your dashboards, addressing everything through computer lock center. Gauging to its conditions, yes. Interference, its line center, weather patterns, and everything through flight command center locations. Operation to you through GPS track system. So fantastic. Pre-flight check, yep. Do that through connection line center. Because you feel off. And if you feel off, you have to get back on. Makes total sense how you get in these positions to this location. There's the UFO that's picking you up. Right? It's amazing how we do this all through shapes and anomalies and all through dimensional time lock centers. But it's amazing how I picked you guys up and took you off cycle, off program. Okay? So it's a default mechanism of travel direction of time. So like pressing a button. It's like you're flying and all of a sudden so you got to figure out what's wrong with you. You got to check this, you got to check that. You know, it's like you're driving in your car and you got a half a tank and then you realize, whoa, the speedometer is wrong. It's locked in interference. Either it's frozen or you forgot to fill up the gas tank and then you're just kaputs. You're on the road. What are you going to do? Right? You need to get gas. So these are the things you check before you go anywhere to travel direction of time. So do you use colors for this as well? I don't know. I can't tell you, Christopher. You're in an operation trying to understand defaults, mechanisms of time of travel. If you're trying to understand, you got too many high levels of web interference, plasma interference problems, high level channels, obsolete connections, virus line center. It's all in position of view. So everybody's off program. It's amazing what you can do just by pressing a button. It's all in operation. Teleported you to high rotation connections. You have to learn how to do this yourself so you can get back on the central system of the grids. So you kind of like have to figure these out yourself. You know, you guys are coming to high formations and you have to start learning how to do this on your own, right? Because there are positions of faulty connections, especially, but you have to make sure you check everything before you go into anywhere space-time line center. That's the most important thing because you're protecting your units, your vessels, you know, your position to its location. So. And it's all done through the mind. Mind is all knowing. It's all knowing of all intelligence, all calculations, all flights, commanding line center interference, gauging interference, speed toners, communications, obsolete centers, virus line interference line conditions. You have to understand all positions of you inside through calculation of what's wrong with you. Why do I feel off center? I didn't vortex to the right location. Oh, I channeled off in the other side rotation center. You know what I mean? It's like making mistakes and then you just go back on track system. Oh, I just vortex interference. I'll just change the rotation centers back in line conditions. It's back in chart reactor now. I feel good. See? Done. Right? So that's one problem fixed. So it all depends on where you're traveling and how fast you're traveling. Right? But you have to be prepared for these things, right? because the mind is more suited for you now through travel. Right? You guys are in 300, 600, and 1200 in Highline Center of mind of acceleration of speed, mocking its communication cycles. So you have to really know what you're doing when you're traveling through direction of time. So all right. All right. So it's a good start. Just want you guys to go through experiences like when you're on channel rotation, you're checking everything through your compartmentalized center. It's very important to do these things in rotation, especially check this off, check this off, check this off, check this off, check this off. So you're checking everything in all levels of the grounds, the powers, and the atmospheres, you field line rotation connections, right? But it's not just there, it's everything through the compartment system. All connections of your feet, all positions of your knees, all positions to your hip, all positions to your heart, all positions to your throat, all positions to your third eye, and all positions of your crown chakra location. Okay? This is where it comes into Falky mechanisms of travel direction timeline center. So it's really understanding what you're doing when you're going to high rotation conditions. You have your chakra system set up. So if you're traveling through direction of timeline center, you're good. But if it's opposition, you're not good, right? So when you go a higher line rotation, your chakra system has to go through speed. Speed. Faster it goes, right? You're good. But the clocking system, if you change or you didn't connect to this or you didn't connect to that, it comes into a clarity line center. A clarity line center is a plasma of a wall that conditions the interference position. It corrects its symbol on its rotation to its dimensional lock center, right? So it splits half system location to its dimension, to its time capacitor. So it splits your chakra system. So, are you saying, is that possible? Yes, it is, because you're traveling faster, right? So you have to be what? Gentle with your body, right? Don't overload your systems or anything in line center because you're traveling extremely fast. Because you can change the line streams, you can change the sea levels, you can overload your dimensional line center interference. Your chakra system is all position of shapes. How to travel through your shapes, right? Your tetrahedrons. You travel faster. You could spin cross line rotations and change positions in the Talaki line center, and they could fall off through rotation. See? All because you didn't check your body system. Right? I go through it, you got to go through it. So it's like being in a simulator and all of a sudden, what are you going to do? Right? You're going to try to safe land. You're going to try this, you're going to try that. I'm not talking about computer program safety. I'm talking about you, all position falling, right? So you have to learn if my dimensional and my communications is off cycle, what do I do with my chakra system? 3 rotation line centers, that's fine. But the more it goes fast and faster, it comes into 2, right? And the more it goes faster, it comes into 1. 3 to 2 to 1. The faster it spins, that's great. But the channel of the ground line center has to be in a full rotation cycle. So you take all levels of the atmosphere and all levels of you through the power line center comes in position locations to the ground line center to its connections. Now you're forcing everything through its information cycle to its connections, to its intelligence. See the flux capacitor? See that? You see that? Powerful, isn't it? There's the intelligence. See? Face. Everything I draw has intelligence. Has to, because it's a program. So everything I do is I'm there, always in center operation. That's me through AI. So in drawing position to digital frame, okay, to illumination graph frame, to communications of its intelligence. How it forced its guidance to connections or anything through tunnel interference. Right? See the tunnel interference? See how powerful that is, the rotation? So, and this is what you can do. You can combust all dimensions, all positions, and crack its surface through its crown chakra or anything through its chakra system if you're going too fast. So you can overload that. If you're vortexing to the ground line center, you're going in positions, you're vortexing back in rotation, right? So you're going to vortex through a tunnel like this, right? So you go back, right? You don't want to vortex back in line center, right? That's me going back, right? So if I'm going to go back, I have to make sure I go into full separation, because if I don't, and it's not communicated the right system locations, it changes all position to timeline center, right? So my particle separates and goes in to its center rotation, to its portal activation center line connections. High positions you through calculations, guys, right? And then you come out the other side line rotation into another dimension to its line connection, right? So you come out. This is you traveling 2 rotations to its connection, right? And this is where you get connections of the grounds, you get positions on levels of the fire and everything through the connection of your air and everything you use with your water. 4 line centers, you guys have to truly understand before you vortex the rotation positions. All right, so you want to basically clock your system to all levels of tunnel interference. See, it's amazing, isn't it? You see these things, right? It's incredible force. So, all right, so where are we here? And when you come into position, set systems go. Let's check it through line center. Grounds is good. Feet and rotations off position. Let's put it back in center line connections. Got a little bit of kneecap interference. Change that in position locations. Hand interference or tingling on offsite system. Let's bring it back in calculation. So this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing is you're putting everything back in position, right? Because if you're traveling to another distance, they have to understand the balance of youth rotation. So that's a calculation. Setting up system through hand, yep. All right. Setting up new highway for connections. Okay, gotta go already. Sorry, guys. I'll see you on TikTok. Okay, take Samantha out of lock interference, put her program back line, set her rotation position back in balance location. All computer line conditions or alignments. All right, you're good, Samantha. Reset grounds, reset water levels, reset chakra system, reset line rotation speed, reset flux capacitor connections to the sun and moon. Very good, Lieutenant. Excellent. Very easy, very informative. Just to basically understand position of you through an avatar to intelligent line conditions. Excellent. My heart is setting me in the right space time at the moment. 3.5 set up for the balance. Good. Reset. And the thing is, you get to see these things inside, and you can say, "Oh, this is great. Feels good." Increasing velocity at wind speed, east, west, south. Yep. Setting northeast, direction vortex, 3-9, set horizontal, done. Copy the red line, reset. Yep. Pluto chemicals on ground with orange and red. Zip zap pink. Yeah. So it's all about helping you out, right? And that's the position you guys want to get into calculation. It's most important to understand these things, right? Figure 8, fluctuation, capacitor, hand signal rotation. So you have to really understand what you're doing through calculations, how everything is operated to the line center. It's very powerful when you come in that position, especially when you need coloration line center. So if you get any yellow interference like this in line conditions, what is it through rotation? What is it through rotation? The yellow. What is it? Solar plex. The solar plexus. Right? So high channeling interference and rotation positions. You're going to travel through that direction of the time line center. You come into your tetrahedron direction of time. So you check all your positions to your chakra system. It's on the dimensional clock line center. So it's all about you trying to understand all levels of you, right? So you go 1, you go 2, and you go 3. Maybe you're at 4. Maybe you're at 3 rotations, or maybe you're at 4 rotations. It depends on how fast you're spinning through a high line center. You all have to come back into one rotation to its connections, right? So as the chakra is spinning on coloration of the solar plex, which is the balanced line center of you, it's the E field rotation to its connection. This high positions all levels of your hip rotation, right? So this is your hip rotation to its connection, right? You got the grounds, the power of you, okay? It's the atom, and everything through your highway information system calculates and modifies all levels of your tunnel. All right, so it's all position of you to understand how to use all calculations. It gets more complicated. So if you go from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 and you're going fast track and you're spinning so fast, you can create new anomalies of shapes into a new tetrahedron line interference to its location, right? Teleportation, high line center rotations. Now you can graph your communications and come into sonar interference to its ground formation. So it's amazing how it calculates and modifies all levels of channels. It rotates its signals and sets up different shapes and anomalies. Right, this is how it comes into crop circles of the ground line center, but everything's got to be in point location to its direction. Right? So every time you're doing that, you get a better understanding what crop circles are through rotations, right? It's all calculated, modified. So once you get into that positions, you come into all levels of your crown chakra. Center up this system to its locations, comes into the flux capacitor, right? 3 channel interference, past, present, and its future rotation. Okay, it calculates and modifies all levels of channels, past, present, and future connection. Okay, so the rotations of the past and rotations of the present and the rotations of the future come into one line signal like this in rotation. So once this comes into one position, this comes into one generation light center of one location of one line position equals all levels. All levels of rotation to its calculation. Okay? All levels of rotation, all through your atom. So this is all about understanding when you come in position. And see, again, you start with the solar plex. You have to go from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. 1 is in positions the fastest, and that 1 is taken away. Okay, so 1 take away 1 equals 0. You come into 0 gravity, right? Now 0 gravity comes in position locations, and this is where it gets really tricky because this is what humanity is into, 0.1. 111.01. That's where they are, right? So they're in this position, but they got to come into the portal location. See, it overlaps in positions 2.01 connections. High positions all levels of the top, high positions all levels of the bottom, and everything through the circle line center comes into its AI position. See the intelligence? With the smile. So it's really amazing how you come in position locations. But it's true to understand when you're traveling, you have to understand how to take all your chakras into one center, right? So you guys got, let's say you got 80 rotations, you got 100 rotations, and you got 114 in position, right? Now, 80 track line centers equals all levels of 1, okay, times 4 equals all positions of view, which is 4,000. Okay, now 100 equals 1, okay, times 3, all right, equals 30,000. Because remember, You guys are traveling faster. So 80 is 4,000. 101 times 3 equals 30,000. And 114 is 114,000. So that'd be 1 times 2 equals 114,000. Ground line center equals box / rotation. To its modified system. Okay? Is it true understanding when you come up from 80 chakras to 100 chakras to 114 and how you allocate line centers, all position of you? Your chakra system is all in position multiplication line connections to all levels of your balance, of your solar plexus. How to go from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. Once you come into 0, everything changes. Everything changes from 4,000 to everything through 30,000 to 114,000. Okay, channels on position locations. So every time you go to higher level, you're going into higher levels of ground lines equals box / rotation. Okay. So this is an training stand that everybody has to stand more. They're kind of shouldn't become their chakra systems. It's all done through sea levels, right? Through compass. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Lieutenants, northeast direction of vortex 39 set up horizontally done. Copy that. Red line reset. Ground line control 7. Okay. Pluto chemicals on grounds with orange, red zip zap. Pink point gate. Figure 8 flux capacitor. Hand signal rotation. Very good, lieutenants. Magenta, how's it going? Beautiful purple, yeah. Banshee. I'm listening, but have no idea. That's okay, Heidi. That's okay. You understand more. You go to higher levels of program settings. This helps you out more informed. Just 2 calculations to your dimensional setting rotation through its chakra connections. It's all about understanding how you can go faster and get into 0 to each chakra system. Because once you get all levels of 80 or 100 or 114 into one position to one center operation system, it becomes all force, direction of time of the now. And that's what you want, right? Coming to full rotation of an atom. All right. All right. Okay. Creating color. Ones I've never yet. 100 quarter work in same section of system. Piece of pie is flying. Coming in that direction line center. But I really want you guys to focus on this because this is the solar plex. This is the most important thing because this is your seat of the soul. Okay, it activates its line center line condition interference. So it opens up all operation of you through calculations, right? So it's understanding each compartment is position of you. Okay? Each compartment is position of you, understanding who you are. When it comes into the grounds, comes in the powers, and it comes in your atmospheres. Okay? And then you have your magnetic highway of information. That's what's given to you every single day, right? So this goes into your mind line center. See? Goes in position, goes into all levels, the mind line center, goes into rotations to the heart. You have to follow through conditions. High positions to you through calculation. Goes into the heart. Right? And then it goes down into the seat of the soul. This is the soul operation, the mothership, right? Mothership comes in position to its location. See the eye circle line center? So once it understands position, it goes into the ground line center in rotation. It changes the coloration of its interference. It opens up all channel line center locations, right? So it's amazing how you come into that position, right? Once it comes into that positions, everything throughout like in line center comes into higher formations of your DD track, goes in this position to this line center to this connection, all the way up to channel interference program setting to your DNA track. Right? It's all about circle rotation line center rotation connections. So once you center that to its rotation, you come into your tunnel interference. Now, that's how you understand position locations, right? But the chakra system is the sole generation of you through the eye circle location, which is the mothership, motherboard. It's all about understanding how to use your flash drives. Okay? That's a true understanding connections, right? Flash drives, right? So that's the program interference where it comes into slash data, right? Equals program setting. Okay? And you come into that position, program setting. All right? So when that's coming in position, it's all about understanding how to travel, right? Your navigation signals and everything through the rebellion will be coming into the more of their positions of their vessels. So you're forming a mothership. That's what you're doing through an atom. That's what you're doing, right? So, and that's what it is. It's the complete cycle of shape, of all shapes, of all dimension, all time of space, and creating your mothership. That's all you're doing. And then when you create the mothership, it travels wherever it wants. Zigzags cross over anything position. It travels in position. It comes out. It comes out because you created it. And it's extremely powerful when you connect to that position, especially when you go through all levels of your solar plexus, from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, coming in position locations on 80 levels, 100 and 114 rotations, right? And this is your position. Okay, this is you through Allocated Line Center. This is you through acceleration. Okay, you in position, acceleration. You position, acceleration. Right, so that's where everybody is. That's where everybody is. 80, 100, 114. Right, you have to come into all levels of zero track system to its location. Once you come zero to its track system, you come to higher formations. When everybody's in 114, you come into your mothership. Okay? So the mothership is all processed to what? A computer, to its motherboard, to its connection, to its flash drive, which is data processing system. And then it can basically travel wherever it wants in position location, so space-time. Fascinating, isn't it? All right. My stomach is actually hurting right now. Yeah, it's speaking line center interference to its program setting there, Christopher. So all you're doing from the seat of the soul is taking all your chakra systems into one center of a solar plexus and creating a mothership. That's it. That's all it is. That's the chakra system coming into one through all levels. It starts with the atom, and then it goes into all level positions to the molecular light structure of you through calculation. The highest formation of light communications that you can ever have past zero gravity, right? So those chakra systems all have to go to zero from top to bottom, bottom to top, doesn't matter. But the thing is too, is that the ground operates you, the power operates you to the center, and everything through the atmosphere is you through travel, sonar, or anything through ear interference, right track, left track, line connections, all through you, through your perception of what you see through your GPS track system. Okay, so it's all about creating a shape of geometry setting to a teleportation of a UFO position to its mothership. Right? That's what you're creating all through your chakra system. The faster you go, the more you see. So, powerful tunnels, Let's see. Yellow all over. Resetting program setting. Very good, Lieutenant. Wings fluttering, beautiful. Yeah. Is this like a sacred geometry? Yeah, it is. It's all position of you, right? Sacred geometry, sacred breath, sacred universe, sacred mind, sacred calculation, modified line center, simuli line channel locations, singularity locations, program setting, off center line conditions, virus center positions, high positions to its Trojan line conditions. It's all position of you. Every time you teleport, you have to check your vehicle. That's the most important thing, right? Because you can't travel if you don't understand what you're doing, right? So the sacred of you, the Jarmusi center line of you position. Understand all positions of the sun, the moon, and you in navigation. You are the center operation creating a mothership to its connection. High forcing anything through rotation conditions. That's the true understanding coming to calculation modification line center. Operates all levels of rotation to its conditions, right? So it's important you understand what you're doing. It's the grounds of you, very basic. It's the powers of you, very basic. And it's everything through the atmospheres. You come into tunnel defense. How to change rotation spin cycles, all rotation to its condition. Interference channel to its line system. Chakra system to its locations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 rotation centers, right? Now, those 12 rotations is your positions to what? Your activation system to your tetrahedrons, right? But the thing is, too, it's operating the center rotation to its atom. So the atom becomes a molecular light of structure. Once it comes into a full cycle of a mothership, that's where it goes extremely fast in rotation. Right? So it's the expansion of you through the ground system. So you're creating a high level of grounds into a mothership. And then once it becomes its mothership, it can travel anywhere into direction to its line condition. Okay, so that's what you're creating all through your tetrahedrons. Okay. Resetting everything, that's a good idea. Don, how you doing? So it's all about the geometry of you, the geometrics of you, the geographical of you, okay? And everything that you generalize. General. So when you're putting your position to its location, it's all about you understanding more of you through its anomalies. You're switching to here, you're switching to there, but you have to understand how to reset, reprogram, reevaluate, reconnect. Use your analytical graph position, use your psychosis, use your psychological center. You have to have the metaphysical, psychological, spiritual, and emotional, all in position to you through sacred. How sacred are you to understand these things? Through all position of space-time, right? So you're just basically creating new shapes for traversation of time. And the more you understand your chakra systems, they all come into one. They all come into one, into your solar plex, the seat of the soul, right? And then when that happens in positions, the life stream activates the light system into yin and yang. So you come into one full cycle of one connections of 69. To its connection. There's a 9 rotation, and there's the 6 rotation. That's it. That's all it is. That's your new hologram to its AI position. See the intelligence? Hello. There's a smile. But that's it. That's all it is. And everything is structured to your position locations. You could be on so many levels of hologram interference, right? So once it comes in at 69, it comes into its high rise line center, and you come into your E fields. You set up your E fields to your landed hologram to its connection, right? And then you start living the existence of your live stream. So that happens through point center. You start at the very top and you work your way into the center rotation of all operation. Starts living you in the now position of all dimensional of all connection. So you start living the now into your past, present, and future. There it is. Past, present, future, all in one. All through 69. Hoo-ah. So, it's exciting, isn't it? Everybody has their ground perceptions and thinking, well, the Earth isn't rotating, or positions that the ground's not rotating, or line center rotations. How's it off signal? Why is it happening this? Why is it happening that? Don't you know what you're talking about? Yeah, well, it's not what I know. It's what you have to know to yourself. It gives you all loads of programs. What does your Earth mean to you? Because I already know what my Earth perception is. But do you understand what the Earth perception is through the mind? Not the structure of you. You're on the physical grounds. That doesn't leave. That's the point system. That's you in center of all operation. The one thing that's off is the mind. The mind doesn't know where it is. The mind is not awake. The mind isn't awake through imagination. But now, people are waking up, right? To what they want through creation, all through light. See? Light. This is light. See? Very powerful. See? Communication. See? All through light. So it no longer becomes an illusion. Okay? It becomes more your reality of its now position. So it's all about understanding how to put this all together. So everything starts making sense, right? The more it makes sense to you, the more you understand that while you're awake. It's for you to remember all these things of who you are. It always informs through space-time travel, right? So the chakra systems are set up so you can get into higher formation of geometry setting, which is more in calculations to your quantum fields, the metric line interference, program setting, all communication to your computer line center locations. So you're creating a rocket to travel faster into space anomaly. That's all that is. It's fascinating when you do these things. Once you bring all your chakras into one rotation. So, all right, let's see here. Yeah, cross track, so much sparkling connections. Yeah, zips out. Yeah. See, no more stomach pain. See, there you go. Intricacies of all mechanisms is acquisitive. Yeah, it is. So flashes like so a mid-mind picture of the inside. It's beautiful past, present, and the future. Yep. Bubbles. The true understanding your position to its location, guys. This is the true understanding. Is you are the operation of everything inside line center. But it's amazing when you come into this position location. So past, present, future come into one. And that's it. Once it comes into one, you start living the now line center to its location. Right? So once it comes into that position, you can create anything through its anomaly. So you're creating your own Earth perception to its dimensional sighting, which lives the now line center to its location connections to your own position location. right? So you start living the existence of the now line center. To all positions to you and your program setting to you and your connections to the new Earth position, to its location. I'm just drawing it out here so you get a true understanding. When you get your past, present, and future all in one system location. Amazing how you do this. Let's just add some earthly grounds here. Okay. Going in position, this becomes your Earth, the hologram line center. In a digital frame position line conditions. This is your narrow Earth, the perception, and what you see it through calculations. Hoorah. All right. So, it just becomes way, way beyond everything, right? So it's all about you centering your operations and your calculations to your grounds, your atmospheres, or anything through your program setting. But it's in position of understanding why you're doing these things. I keep saying this over and over, and I'm going to keep saying this every single day, is you have to get into your own operation. Okay. To your chakra systems are what they are. It's like putting yourself together and your pieces and puzzles coming together, forming into a beautiful mindset of travel. Right? So resetting the 69 rotation, synchronizing to each chakra. That diagram is so beautiful. Don't have words. I know. It's amazing how you come into this. Like, it's understanding where you are. Where's your Earth perception? So once you get the grounds of that line center, it opens up all track systems. Okay. Into nothing but light. Track systems locations. Power direction of timeline center. And everything through your magnetic line center lives you in lights of rotation. To the ground line center, to the power fair systems, to the ground location. All right. So it hubbles in so many levels. This is your new E-Force line center. Force recognition timeline. Right? So bright light, yep. Whatever she missed, you can watch back. She'll probably be on live. Yeah. She's close by. I'm just backtracking right now. But I just want you to truly understand how powerful we all are once you wake up to these things, guys. So hopefully you guys are using levels of the mind and getting into everything through pocket interference, line channel rotations, off cycle line conditions, high channeling this, high channeling that, understanding this, understanding that through your program. It's all position of you before you set up anything through operation. Okay? All right. So I think that's good. Everybody have a fantastic Saturday. Any other questions, let me know. I'm going to head over to TikTok. Adios.